also because it's increasingly global world, and with increased exposure to global trends, I think we can, as Indian society, also learn from global best practices.
True.
And with the COVID coming in, there was a lot of exposure. I remember a lot of international global trainings
True.
that teachers were exposed to. So what, in your opinion, are some of the current global educational trends that we can learn from?
I think firstly, we all need to get out of this so-called syllabus concept.
True.
We are so driven. If you ask any teacher anything in the classroom, she says, I have to complete my syllabus. You talk to a parent, they say, but the syllabus mein mere bachche ko marks nahi aaya. This is like, it's like a, the background, it just plays like a sad record. Syllabus. And all the year, the schools are trying to finish a syllabus. I think we've lost the concept of actually, it's not the syllabus, it's the concept understanding. Of where do we apply this knowledge that we have learned? Where do we take this forward for our children so that tomorrow, with this 18 years of schooling, where do they stand? So it starts with just that basic change in our way of delivering our curriculum.
I completely agree with you, ma'am. But then I think we have to look at the designs of our curriculums as well. We have to lighten the curriculum bag so that syllabus doesn't stay as big a problem as it is.
We say our bags need to be lightened. Okay, and this has been for the last 10 years that I've been hearing this. We lightened the bag, but we haven't lightened the syllabus. We haven't lightened the amount the child has to rote,
That's
learn,
what I'm
and
saying.
learn. So the concept on paper sounds great, but we really haven't got into the depth of it. So what is it that the child will, 10 years from now, he's going to go out into that world. That world would have changed. We're living in a very VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, kind of a world. So in that world, have we trained the child, or we've only trained him for the university?
Yeah.
We haven't trained him for the universe.
Yeah.
So how do we bring that change?
Especially, I feel our Indian kids, we overburden them with a lot of unnecessary information. I remember an anecdote, if you would permit me to share. I was teaching some time back in the university in the US, the University of Sciences. And to the first year undergrad students, I was teaching the concept of photosynthesis, which is something that a grade 6, grade 5 child in India would be very well versed with.
Absolutely.
They would very well be able to describe photosynthesis. And to my surprise, I found that children in the university, in the college, were not aware of basic formula of photosynthesis. And I was very amazed, I was very surprised. And what they shared with me is that our Indian and Chinese counterparts always know so much more than us. But eventually at the college level, all of us are scoring the same marks. So did we really needed to teach those concepts to the children as young as 12, 13 or 11? So I think that somewhere, because the children in the West are so much better problem solvers and innovators than our children. So I don't know whether there is this fear of removing the concepts that may hurt children's learning somewhere.
Our focus when India got independence was on trying to get the people like engineers, doctors and things like that. Now, we needed that at that time because our India needed that kind of professionals to set up India, right? So the need was there. So when that was the need, obviously the idea was that the child must know this ABCD when I say 1, 2, 3, to be able to become an engineer or a doctor. So the focus became on the syllabus, the amount of knowledge that the child must have so that by the time it graduates from school, it will have all that kind of a content. But we have evolved from that. The world has evolved. The generation has moved on and things like that. Yet we have added to our content. We haven't just subtracted from it. So in the process, what has happened is we've put a lot of pressure on the children to rote learn. You don't need to rote learn everything. You may need to rote learn 20 concepts. You may need to learn multiplication, you can rote learn it. You will need to learn elements, you can rote learn it. You can learn alphabets, yes, you can rote learn. But you don't need to rote learn everything. In our schools, everything is taught to be rote learned, unfortunately. Right? Yes, when you say that when they go abroad, it does help them. But eventually, where they miss out is all the skills that are actually required in the universe. They've been prepared for the university. They're very good at the content. They will be able to tell you. But are they ready for the universe? Do they have the skills? Do they know where to apply the learning that they've had? That is why, I mean, I was just in the US last year, and all I could hear was, oh, Silicon Valley is full of nerds, and most of these nerds come from India. And I thought that was a very derogatory way of saying it. Our children are very bright, and we have excellent children, and they are the ones who have actually framed the technology revolution around the world, I would say, and we are much better ahead of them. But at the same time, we need to have the best of concept, I would say, instead of saying concept understanding with application and skills, which is the need of the hour.